Hello friends, welcome to Abhigyan Academy. So let us discuss one of the important topic of your modern history, that is the advent of the Europeans. How the Europeans came to India, why the Europeans came to India. So to understand why the Europeans came to India, we have to understand the background of Europe. What was going on in Europe that led to the arrival of these Europeans in India. Now, if we see the background of Europe, if we see the background of Europe at that point of time in the 15th century, then we will understand that this Europe was witnessing some specific developments in 15th century, and this is why this time period is also called as the age of discovery in Europe. Now, what were the important developments or discoveries that were going on in the region of Europe? This time, the agricultural production have increased. It means the revenue resources have also increased in the economy of Europe. Further, this time shipbuilding industry the shipbuilding industry also developed during this time in Europe. Apart from this, the navigation also developed during this time. Now, what will be the use of this shipbuilding industry and navigation? By using the navigation technique, the Europeans have started circumnavigating the world. The Europeans have started circumnavigating the world in search of new sea routes. In search of new sea routes. This new sea routes, why they were searching this new sea routes? To connect with the eastern world, to connect them with the eastern world. Now during this time period, this Europe was witnessing such kind of developments, and when their shipbuilding industry and their navigation techniques have developed, now the Europeans were in search of some new sea routes to connect with the eastern world. Now, why they were searching the new sea routes? Because the background, if we see, because during this time, what was happening? There was a fall of Constantinople, and there was a rise of these Arabian powers. Okay, there was a decline of this area, Constantinople Empire of Turkey, and the other parties, and there was the rise of the Arabs. The Arabs have started becoming powerful, and they were dominating the sea routes that actually connected India and the eastern world. Okay, so now these Arabs, they were actually dominating the sea routes that have connected India and the eastern world. When these sea routes were used by the Europeans, these sea routes, if you see, then these sea routes are favorable to do trading with India and with the eastern world. So when you will see that these routes, when the Europeans have used these routes, the Europeans were heavily taxed. They were heavily taxed by the Arabian powers. So that is why these Europeans, they were in search of some new routes that will connect India, that did not have the monopoly of this Arabian people. Right. Now, when we will see this thing, that the Europeans, I said that why the Europeans need to search some new routes, why the Europeans had to arrive to India? Because of this reason. Okay, this is why the Europeans were in search of this new sea routes in India. Now, among these Europeans, okay, among these European parties, if you see that these countries, okay, among these European parties, if you see this part, so this part is actually Portugal and Spain. Okay, so among the European powers, this Portugal and Spain were initially trying their best to find some sea routes to connect India, and they were actually sponsoring the travelers to go and search some new routes that will connect to India. So now what will happen? They will sponsor Christopher Columbus. They will sponsor Christopher Columbus also in this way to search new sea routes to connect with India. Accidentally, what will happen? This Columbus have discovered America. Accidentally, Columbus discovered America. Another person will come now. The name of that person was Bartholomew Bartholomew Diaz. And this person will come. He will also try his best to search some new sea routes that will connect India. So this person will come to this point. What is this point? This is your African continent. This is your Europe. Okay. So from here, this person will come to this point, and this point is called as Cape of Good Hope. This southern tip is called as Cape, and the name of this region is called as Cape of Good Hope. So this person came to till this region, but he could not come forward. He did not find the new sea route towards India, so he went back. Okay, he again went back. When these things were happening, the Portuguese and the Spain countries, they have thought that we should not search the routes in this way, because in the whole world, we if we search like this, then someone will discover this, someone will discover that. What we want now, we want some new sea routes that will connect India. So what these people did, Portugal and Spain, this Portugal and Spain have done an important treaty. This treaty was called as Treaty of Tordesillas. It was in 1494 signed between Portugal and Spain. This treaty have actually drawn an imaginary line on the non-Christian world. On the Atlantic Ocean, these countries have drawn an imaginary line. They have divided the countries between them as the eastern part and the western part. Okay, they have divided the world, the non-Christian world. They have drawn an imaginary line on the Atlantic Ocean and divided the region into western and eastern part. And they said that the western part, they said that there the sea routes will be searched by Spain. In the western parts, the sea routes will be searched by Spain, and in the eastern part, the sea routes will be searched by Portugal. So in this way, they have divided the non-Christian world into two parts. Okay, western part was given to Spain to search sea routes, new sea routes that would connect India. Eastern part was given or taken by Portugal to find new sea routes that would connect India. So this was an important treaty that actually led to the arrival of the first Europeans to India, that is the Portuguese. Okay, now this treaty was done. Now eastern part was taken by the Portuguese, and our India is located in the eastern part. That is why in 1498 this Portuguese were the first one to come to India. Okay, that is why if we talk about the advent of the Europeans, the Portuguese were the first to arrive to India. The thing is that already this region was already discovered by another person earlier. So now when the Portuguese will come, they will follow up this route only. Till this route, it was already discovered. Now whoever will come, they will follow to this route. Okay, so now the background, we understood that in the 15th century there was a fall of this Constantinople. Okay, this was fall of Constantinople. Then it led to the monopoly of the Arab merchants. Okay, they have started their monopoly from this region in the sea routes of the world that connects the Indian part and the other parts. They control the Red Sea. This is your Red Sea, okay, Red Sea part. Then technological advancement, we have already discussed that shipbuilding and navigation, these things were developed in this region. And if we see the geopolitics of India during this time period, we know that the Mughals Mughals have started declining in this time period. Okay, when they will know that Mughals have started also declining, then they will take the advantage of this decline. Now, if we see that the arrival or advent of the Europeans, so the first one to arrive to India were who? The first one to arrive to India were the Portuguese. Yes. So they were the Portuguese. They were the Portuguese to arrive to India. So there is a chronological way, and on this chronology, these Europeans came to India in different waves. So if we see the chronology about the arrival of these Europeans to India, then this will be the first one where the Portuguese. Then the Dutch were there, then the English were there, or the British, then Danes, then the French. So there are these Europeans that came to India in different waves. Okay, different waves. And it is not like that the Portuguese will come and they will leave India. After them, the Dutch will come, then they will leave India. After them, the English will come, then they will leave India. After no, in the parallel waves. Okay, one after another, they will come in the parallel waves. They will come to India. So about this chronology, how we can memorize this chronology? You just remember this PDF. Okay, PDF, you just remember PDF, and in between there will be one E. Okay, the PDF document that we share. Okay, so just remember with this mnemonic PDF, in between there will be one E. Portuguese, Dutch, English, and French. Between that, there were Danes, but Danes were not that much important from your exam perspective because these Danes actually came to India. This India for some kind of missionary activities. They have more interest on the missionary activities instead of the financial gain. So days were not important for our exam perspective, right? Now, when it comes to the Portuguese, we have to know certain important points about this Portuguese. Now, see, the first one to arrive to India were this Portuguese. Now, about this Portuguese, who came to India first? The Vasco da Gama. Okay, this person, Vasco da Gama, by using that route, Cape of Good Hope, he used that route and for this advanced, okay, and found out the new route that connected India and reached India in 1498. So when this Vasco da Gama reached India, he actually reached in the southern part, okay? He actually reached in the southern part of India. So he reached where? He reached in a place called Calicut near Kerala. In that region, there was a ruler named as Zamorin. Zamorin was actually the title of that ruler. The name of the ruler was Samudri. Okay. The name of the ruler was Samudri. Zamorin was just a title. From here, so when we reach this Calicut region, where Zamorin welcomed Vasco da Gama. Why the Indian ruler have welcomed Vasco da Gama? Because the Indian ruler also got an opportunity for an international trade. When you will do an international trade, obviously you will be more benefited. So the Indian ruler also welcomed the foreign trader. Apart from this, the Portuguese also had a strong naval power. Okay. Apart from this, the Portuguese also enjoyed a strong naval power. So that also impressed the Indian ruler to welcome Vasco da Gama. Now, when Vasco da Gama came to India during this period, after some time he again went back, and after some time he again came to India. So he visited twice. Okay, not in a single time. He went back. He earned huge profit from India. After some time he again came back. So he earned some more profit from India. So basically, South India is known for spices. Okay, the South Indian states are known for the spices. Like we know that Kerala is popular for spices. So the most important product that they will be doing their trade that will be on the spices because they have came to South India. Okay, so now this person, Vasco da Gama, he will come, he will earn profit, and this Portuguese, after some time, they will establish some important factory in the western coast of India. Okay, so western coast, when they will establish their factory in the western coast, what will happen? This will help the Portuguese to do their trading activities with India. Okay, so this factories they will help the Portuguese to do their trading activities in India. Now, after some time, when their factories were developed or their areas were consolidated in India, now the Portuguese need some administration in India. So now we will see that the Portuguese will send their governors to India for the administration. So now after Vasco da Gama, when the areas were consolidated, or when the factories were set up, the financial consolidation was developed here. After some time, they have now started the administration in India. So for this, they have sent their first governor to India, and it was Francisco de Almeida. So Francisco de Almeida was sent by the Portuguese to India as the first Portuguese governor. And this person came to India and he brought an important policy that was called as blue water policy. So what is this blue water policy? Actually, through this blue water policy, this person Almeida was trying to make the Portuguese as the master of the Indian Ocean. Okay, so this blue water policy was used by the Portuguese to make them as the master of the Indian Ocean because earlier the sea routes were actually controlled by the Arabs and the Portuguese wanted to eliminate the dominance of the Arabs from this sea routes. That is why they have brought this policy to make them the masters of the Indian Ocean. Apart from this, now next the governor will be Alfonso de Albuquerque. Okay, this Alfonso de Albuquerque is very important. Okay, he is also very important. Why he is important? Because he is known as the real founder of the Portuguese Empire or the Portuguese power in India. Because during this time, the administration process started. Okay, they have started annexing the territories of India from the rulers of India. So this is for the first time that an European power has annexed or captured a region from the ruler of India, and that region was Goa. So Albert has captured Goa from the Sultan of Bijapur. Okay, from the Sultan of Bijapur. Bijapur is a place in Karnataka region. So this person, Alfonso de Albuquerque, he is known to capture Goa from the Sultan of Bijapur in 1510. And this Goa will remain a very important location for this Portuguese in India. Okay. So apart from this, he also abolished sati in the nearby region. Okay. So these are some of the important points about the governor. Now, if we see the policies that were used by the Portuguese for their expansion in India, they have used a very popular policy that is the gunboat policy. Gunboat policy. It is associated with what? Associated with the naval power. Something associated with the naval power. So if we see what is gunboat policy, it means they were using force. Okay, they were using force for their expansion in India. Their ships were fixed with bombarding systems. So anyone if resisted their expansion in India, their areas were actually bombarded directly by this Portuguese. This is your gunboat diplomacy, expansion or forceful control of trade. Okay, other people's trading stations or ports were bombarded by the Portuguese power in India. Apart from this, they have used this cartage system. What is cartage system? These are some kind of permit system. Okay, some kind of permit system you can say. It means The people who were using the trade routes controlled by the Portuguese had to take a license, had to take a permit from the Portuguese, okay, and they had to pay taxes to the Portuguese. So this is a kind of permit system or license system. Apart from this, the revenue policies were actually introduced by one person, that is Fazenda. When you are the Fazenda, he is popular to the revenue superintendent in India. Apart from all this, in the agriculture sector, if we see that the Portuguese have introduced some new crops in the Indian subcontinent, okay? Like you can say tobacco, like you can say cashew nuts. These are some of the new crops that was introduced by this Portuguese in India. Apart from this new technology, if we see the printing press, whatever you see in today's world, in today's world, that is the printing press in India was introduced by the Portuguese way back in India. Okay? So this is some of the contribution of the Portuguese in India. Now, apart from all this, what we need to understand is that the Portuguese were the first to come to India and the last to arrive to India. Okay, these 2 points are very, very important that needs to be emphasized more. First to arrive in India, last to leave India, what does that mean? So in 1547, sorry, in 1947. In 1947, 15th August 1947, what we attained? We attained independence from the British power in India. The British left India. India gained independence from the British rule on 15th August 1947. We all know that, right? But even this time also, the Portuguese was actually ruling in India. It means their colony, that was at Goa. Goa was still an important colony for the British in India even after 1947. So the Indian government was negotiating with the Portuguese government to liberate this colony from Goa, but the Portuguese government was not actually negotiating. So that is why what happens in 1961, Indian government have used force. Okay, Indian government have used force to liberate Goa from the power of Portuguese. So we have launched, our Indian army have launched Operation Vijay to liberate Goa from the Portuguese governance. Okay, so in 1961, 19th December 1961, this operation was launched and formally Goa was liberated from the Portuguese power in India. And Goa still celebrates 19th December as Goa Liberation Day. Okay? So now we understood that this point is important, that they were the first to arrive to India among the Europeans and the last to leave India among the Europeans. Some of the important points about the Portuguese in India. Now, I shall conclude this video with this part. This is part 1. So, I will come with another video that will be part 2. Okay? In the part 2, we will deal with the other European powers that came to India. Okay? In different ways. Okay? Thank you. Thank you very much.